Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to do a video today to show you what we are making for Thanksgiving. So this video covers 2 days, the day before Thanksgiving and then Thanksgiving Day. This part was the day before Thanksgiving. I am making a broccoli and cheese casserole to take to family members, and it's a very simple recipe. I get a 16-ounce block of Velveeta cheese and just slice it up. And then I just need 2 bags of frozen chopped broccoli. You don't have to thaw the broccoli. I just rinse it under hot water, kind of break it apart. And then I will chop the broccoli up to make smaller pieces. This is really the first recipe that I learned, and it's very simple and very tasty. And you just have to layer the broccoli and the cheese. So you do 1 bag of the chopped broccoli on the bottom of the casserole dish, and then take the 16 ounces of the cheese and layer it on top, and then you do your other bag of your broccoli. At first I was thinking that you have to layer the cheese too, so I only put half the cheese in there, but then I reread the recipe to see that you put all of the cheese in between the 2 layers of the broccoli. So I'm just rearranging the cheese so I can just fit it all in there together. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the broccoli on top of the cheese, and then I'm going to get started on the topping. And all you need is 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers and about half a cup of butter. We actually get these smaller sleeves of Ritz crackers so that they're easier for Rex for snack time. So I just used 2 of those small sleeves to crush up the crackers, and then I'm going to melt the butter and mix in the crackers for the topping. So I just melt the butter in the microwave for about 15 seconds. It's not completely melted, but it's at a pretty good consistency where I can mix it up with the crackers. And honestly, this is my favorite part about making this dish. I'm not really a fan of broccoli and cheese, but the smell of the melted butter with the crackers when it bakes is just the best smell ever. So this is what the mixture looks like, and I was going to try to use a fork to sprinkle it on top of the casserole, but that does not work well. So with my clean hands, of course, I am just going to pick up the mixture and sprinkle it over top. Be careful though, because the butter could be really hot. And it goes in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And here it is when it's done. Okay, so now it is Thanksgiving morning. The first thing I did was take the racks out of my oven because the turkey is not going to fit in my oven with all of the racks in there. And I want to show you guys this tag right here, the 1421. That is the weight of the turkey. We got a butterball turkey, so it's 14 pounds. And I'm just going to cut off the netting and get the plastic off. So I believe I learned this last year, to have a cookie sheet under the turkey when you're getting it out of the package, because it's going to get pretty messy. And what I learned this year was to do this over by the sink, because it's going to get very messy and that pan actually fills up with a lot of juices, and carrying it across the kitchen was kind of not very smart. So I went and grabbed a little trash bag so that everything from the turkey can immediately go out to our big trash dumpster instead of having it in the kitchen trash. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pat the turkey dry. If you're going to put butter on it or seasonings, you're going to want to get all the juices off of it for anything to really stick to the skin. And since the rack that I'm getting out hasn't been used since last Thanksgiving, I'm just going to give it a quick wipe down. So something you're going to need to do is drain the juices, and another reason to do this by the sink. Really did not remember it being so messy last time, so I end up cleaning up messes all day long because I went ahead and put it in the roasting thing before I put it on the rack. So now I have to wipe out the roasting pan, and now it's on the rack dripping on the countertop. So I'm going to go get my disinfectant wipes so I can wipe that down and keep things clean and safe. Okay, so if you guys have never done a turkey, this next part might be a little too much for you, or you might need to see it. I'm gonna leave it to your discretion, but I'm about to take out the neck and giblets. So I'm just patting the turkey dry some, and then you just gotta reach in, and the neck is very easy to find. It just comes right out, and it's pretty gross looking, but right into that trash bag. Now, the giblets was harder for me to find. I had to Google it, even though I did this last year. But I end up turning the turkey around, and I turn it over on its side and reach into the actual like neck opening part, and that is where I found the bag of giblets. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix up all of the seasoning for the turkey. I've got about 1/3 cup of melted butter. I'm doing a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of sage, a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and then about 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. Oh, and also about a teaspoon of rosemary. And then I make sure that I just spread this all over the turkey. So now that the turkey's in the oven, I'm gonna do some cleaning up. So for the first 30 minutes, I'm actually cooking the turkey at 425, and then I'm gonna lower it down to 325. The directions on the package just say one temperature, but I have read that if you start at a higher temperature, that the skin will do better. So I'm actually going to go ahead and turn the turkey around just so that it kind of cooks more evenly. I'm doing this about halfway through, but it is looking amazing. I know the glass on the oven is kind of dirty, but I am just absolutely loving how good this is turning out, and I only have an hour and 50 minutes left. The total time that I cook it is about 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and do some more cleaning up while I'm waiting on the turkey to cook. I'm really going to do very simple sides: microwave mashed potatoes, some canned green beans, some macaroni and cheese from the box, and some gravy in a jar. And then my mother-in-law is bringing over a couple of side dishes as well. So it does not have to be super hard. The turkey is gonna take most of my time, and then I'm just gonna do very simple things on the sides. It is. I think it turned out amazing. When I had about 50 minutes left, I put some foil over the breast so it didn't overcook, but it turned out great. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving.